my channel. My name is Aki if you're new, and for those who's been watching, thank you so much for coming back. Today we're
You're too loud talking.
Mommy's filming. Of course I'm talking. Today we're going to repot this fiddle leaf big tree that I purchased 2 weeks ago. But he's a really gorgeous one. I went to Home Depot to pick up some repairing parts, and then like at the cashier there's clearance section, and I spotted this tree. It was originally sold for $39, but it was for $19. So I got it for half price, and I was so thrilled to take this back home. And it's been acclimated? No? Acclimatized. It's been acclimatized because they're really finicky. If they don't like anything, they will drop leaf. But so far, it hasn't lost any leaves yet, so it's really happy. It's in my son's room with getting lots of morning light. Yeah, so it hasn't dropped any leaves, but this branch was like awkwardly sticking out, poking out like this, so just cut it and see if I could just root it and maybe give it away. So I cut this one, but it's been doing really well. But I was looking at the roots and then realized I think it's really root bound, and the pot is super light, so I don't know if there's much soils in here. Feels like mostly roots. So we're gonna do the repot, and while I'll do this repot video, I asked on Instagram if you guys wanted to do a Q&A video or like tell my embarrassing stories, and most of the people answered you guys want to hear my embarrassing stories, so I have tons of them, so you guys can laugh at my stories and watch me repot. So let's start this. Sorry, because I don't know, I couldn't get the mic long enough to be on me, so it's right on the pot right here, so I hope you can hear well. But let's check the root of this fiddle leaf big tree. Let's see. It's really light, like super light. And I could see the roots wrapped around on top of it here. I'll put a video maybe later. But let me see if I can get it up. Maybe I should just cut it. I'm gonna cut it. So, my embarrassing story. The first story I'm gonna tell, because my uncle always makes fun of it, even though it's been such a long time. So I grew up in Japan, but when I turned 11, I guess it was like for me to go to middle school, I moved to my uncle and my aunt's place in the U.S. to study English. My parents both thought it was a good opportunity for me to study abroad and learn how to speak English. So I lived with them for like 4 years, like close to 5 years, is it? Or 4 years. But when I first moved there, I could not speak any English. Like, I took 1 month's course to do like a simple, learn this is a pen, this is an apple, what's your name, how are you kind of thing. So I hardly know English. So anyway, so Japanese, we don't have a lot of, I'm just so scared that I'm like see bugs or something crawling out. Okay, that was easy. Let's stop this stop for a moment and check the roots. And yeah, I think this is all roots. Let's get closer. Because there's no soil. Like, these are all roots coming up. And yeah, it's all roots. Look how root bound it is, Oliver.
Whoa, that's huge.
That's all roots. Like, I don't know if I should untangle it. I don't want to upset this tree. So, I don't know what I should do. Anyway, back to the story. Yeah, so Japanese, we don't have like certain like sound. They don't exist, so it was really hard for me to like pronounce certain sound at first. So one day I went up to my uncle. So my uncle's American. He doesn't speak Japanese at all. Actually, my aunt doesn't speak Japanese at all, so I could only communicate with them in English. So I had to, speak, right? But so one day I went up to my uncle and asked. I was looking for those breast refreshener. I don't know if you guys know. Like, I don't know if they exist nowadays, but like those spraying thing in your mouth to make your breasts smell like nice. Anyway, so I went up to my uncle because I couldn't pronounce the TH sound. We don't have that sound in Japan, so I could not pronounce that sound, TH. So I went up to my uncle and said, my uncle is Dwight, and I said, Dwight, have you seen my sweet breast? Like, because I couldn't say sweet breast. So I was like asking, like, no, have you seen my sweet breast? And he was like, what are you talking about? It's like, the sweet breast that I always like carry and like spray it in my mouth. And then he finally realized that I wanted to say sweet breath instead of sweet breast. So he still picks on me for saying that when I was there. So that was one of my embarrassing stories my uncle still picks on me for. But what should I do with this root? Okay, so I'm not gonna touch this root because it's happy. So I'm just gonna let it grow like this. And okay, you don't have to say anything, but mommy's filming right now. So I bought this pot. So the original pot is 10 inch, but this is 12 inch. It's like a tall pot, but I didn't realize it's like a self-watering pot. So it has a little cash net inside, and they were like, if you put it outside, you have to make a hole in here. So I already punched a hole in there because I don't want it to, I don't know, just to make sure that I don't, have the water sitting for too long. But still have a little bit of like space that I need to fill. I don't really want to put soil in there because you never know. Like, I'm an underwater, but like this tree is so finicky, I don't want to risk anything. So I'm gonna put this leca to fill up this gap. It's not that much, but yeah, I don't want like roots sitting in the water. So I'm just gonna fill this up. And my second embarrassing story is, sorry, I think I'm gonna put it here.
Ian, take that to your room.
Yeah, can you take it to your room if you're gonna play with it? Yeah, can you turn it down, please?
Yeah.
So my
I want to push the button to turn it.
okay, my second embarrassing story is I already like, if you watch Mary J's plant, you might have heard it, but I told her my embarrassing story, and she had her embarrassing stories videos up a couple weeks ago and told my story. But if you haven't watched her video, maybe I should just tell it here too. So my second embarrassing story is my husband's from here, and I think it was first time visiting here to meet his family, and we went to the zoo because I like going to the zoo. And so me and my husband was at the zoo, and it was before kids, so it was just me and my husband. And okay, I'm gonna make a mix. So at the zoo, I've never seen like, hold on, sorry. There's like few animals that I've never seen before, like in Japanese zoo. So I spotted a black jaguar, which I was so fascinated by because I've never seen it before in real life. Like I've seen it on TV, but I've never seen a real one. So I was so fascinated. So I just like stood there and like watched it for like a minute. And I thought my husband was standing right next to me. But so I thought he was standing right here. So I was like caressing his arm. Like I was like caressing his arm and like talking to him like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this animal before and it's so beautiful. And then like I was like, something feels so different. And then like looked up and it wasn't my husband. It was a stranger. It was a guy, of course, and he was a stranger. And I like looked up and he wasn't my husband. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I thought you were my husband. And he said, it's okay. He said it's okay. And then like I tried to run up to my husband. And I think he was with also his wife or his girlfriend, and she was like looking at me really like weirdly, like what's wrong with this lady? So that was another of my embarrassing stories. So I work for a beer company in Japan, and we went on an incentive trip to Taiwan. And of course, we work for beer companies. Mostly we go to visit, like bars and clubs. So the company, the branch in Taiwan, have like arranged all the nice places for us to go. And in the end, we end up at the club. It's like one of the popular clubs in Taiwan. Oh, so dusty. So it was really popular club in Taiwan. So we were like all having fun. And even like my boss and like GM was there. But we were having so much fun. And of course we're, drinking. And it was like probably like 4 or 5 stops. So we're pretty much drunk and having a lot of fun. And we were dancing at the club, of course. And then I got on the stage, not stage, but like maybe table dance stage. I don't remember. It's like a little stage, small stage, like in a cylinder stage they had. So I got up and started dancing. And then when I did a squat down, when you squat down to dance low, my jeans on the butt cracked in half. Like it ripped, not cracked, it ripped in half. So like the whole part right here like ripped, and like you could hear the sound when it ripped, and everybody was like, oh. And I was like, oh. So for the rest of the night, I was showing my butt hanging out from my jeans, and yeah. I mean, everybody was drunk, so it's okay. But that was one of the embarrassing story. And then the second one, oh, excuse me. I think I'm just going to add all of it. And the second one, oh, So dusty. Okay, I'm gonna put them in. I don't know if I should loosen the soil, but no, I want her to be happy, so I'm just gonna. Okay, I need to put more soil. Okay, so the next one. So when I was like 23, I think, or 24, I normally like visit my uncle and my aunt and my cousins, and they're in Alabama. So I lived in Georgia and Alabama with them, and right now they're in Alabama. So I will like visit them like once in 2 years, and so that time when I was like 20, I think 23 or 4. I thought I had one of my friends, she was studying in the university in Washington, D.C. So we decided we would meet up in Miami and spend like a few days there to meet up and catch up. So so we were in Miami, and then I don't know, like we both don't really plan things so well, so we're like just, you know, wanting to hang out at the beach or like go find a nice restaurant. We did all the like clubbing in Washington, D.C., so I wasn't really into clubbing that time, but so we're in Miami, and then like we decided, okay, like we should go visit Key West, because that's like the famous place for everyone, right? I think even for Japanese, like when you say Miami, everybody will say, oh, Key West, have you, visited Key West? So I said, okay, let's go see, let's go visit Key West. Might as well. We're there. And the funny thing is, we both can't read maps. And I had a guidebook about Miami, but it wasn't like just Miami. So it was probably like covering the whole, like Orlando and like Florida, and then has like little part in Miami. So it wasn't like, the book wasn't covered all about Miami. So the map they had a picture of Miami, but the Key West is like southwest, right? But in the guidebook, it had Miami, and then I think they cropped the Key West section on top. You know how sometimes map will like crop one section because they don't have a space, so they would just put it somewhere on top in the same page. So like both of us wasn't thinking, hard. So we're like, oh, strange. Like probably didn't even think it was strange. Like Key West is in north because it's on top of the map. So we were not like thinking at all. We didn't ask the hotel. Like we thought, okay, then let's just, hop on a bus that goes towards the north. I'm sure it would, take us to Key West. So we got on the we got on the bus thinking it would, take us somewhere close to Key West. So we got on the bus that is heading towards north, and then it was just like going north for a long time, and we were like, and then I got a little worried. Like the announcement has nothing about Key West or anything. So we're like, maybe we should just get off because we've been on the bus for a little too long. So we got off the bus, and it was hot. So I was like, okay, let's just find a cafe. Like, we don't have to go to Key West. We could find a cafe and just hang there, have a relaxing, time there. So we found a cafe. And of course, because it's Miami, we're wearing like bikini and like shorts and tank top. But everywhere inside is so cold, right? With the air conditioning. So the cafe we were in, I ordered some kind of cold drink. I don't remember what, but some kind of cold drink. And it was super cold inside. So we, yeah, so we had a drink there and then like decided like it's too cold, so let's go back, let's go back to hotel and then let's just hang out at the beach instead. Like what we should have done. But gonna do that. Okay. So we got on the bus, same bus, but heading south. So we got on the bus and then it was so cold. Like it was cold in the restaurant and then it was so cold in the bus. And then I didn't use the restroom when I was at the cafe. I should have. So of course my bladder is like going crazy. I really needed to pee. So I really needed to pee and I was holding for a long time. I'm pretty good with like holding in. I could hold in for a long time. But yeah, and then we got off like closer to, I don't know where we were trying to go. I think we weren't going back to the hotel, but we're going somewhere closer to our hotel that we could just hang around in those areas. And then we got off and then I really needed to go pee. And I asked my friend that like, I really need to go. I need to find somewhere to pee. But all the hotel says like, do not enter unless you're, a guest there or like you're staying there. So I should have just gone in and asked to use the bathroom, but I don't know. I think I was too embarrassed. And I was, too scared that someone might say something to me. So we stopped and look at the map and see if there's any place that has bathroom. And we found a convention center nearby. It was like a few blocks away. So I was like, okay, let's go there and use the bathroom there. And so it was like really few blocks away. So, but I really have to go. You know that feeling when you have to go, right? So we were walking and then like I was like, we were walking really fast. I was trying to walk really fast and then we were waiting on the red light and then when it turned blue I didn't realize there was a big gap in between the pedestrian street and the sidewalk. Liam, you're in the way. So when I like went down, the shock just like let it loose. Okay, go ahead. So yeah, the shock like stepping down like let everyone just loose and I couldn't stop too. So because once it's out, right? So I couldn't stop and I was so embarrassed. Like, so I pulled my friend's hand and like asked her to run with me while I'm like everything's dripping. So yeah, I was 24, I think. But yeah, so I peed in my pants. But luckily I was in bathing suit and like shorts for, those waterproof shorts. So we walked over to the convention center and just like wiped myself. And yeah, I don't know what my friend thought, but she was laughing so hard. And she was also freaking out that I was pulling her hand so hard to walk with me, run with me. Ugh. So that was my pee incident. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, so pee incident, my friends know about it, but there's another story. She doesn't know unless like she watches this video and find out. So we were heading back. She's going back to Washington DC and I'm heading back to Alabama. So we went to the airport together. And we had time to kill, so we just waited at the just like sat at the couch or somewhere that they had. And yeah, so we were just waiting there and hanging out, and then I kind kind of like farted, you know, like quietly, like let it out like really quietly, I thought. But it smelled really awful. So I thought, oh, maybe I'm gonna have a diarrhea or something. So try not to like it did smell, so I don't know if she smelled or not, but it smelled really bad. It was smelling like bad for a long time, and then I realized like something's wrong. And then like she also noticed like it smells weird here too. So like I blamed it on the person who was sitting like next to me and said maybe someone farted. And then let's get out of here. So we just started walking, and then like it was about time for my friend to catch her flight. So she went, and then I knew something was wrong, so I ran to the bathroom. And yeah, I don't know what I had the day before, but it was definitely something I ate. So I had a poo incident in my pants too. And yeah, that was really nasty. And then luckily I had a like spare underwear in my backpack. I don't know why I had that. So I tried to change it inside the bathroom, but American bathroom, there's so much gap in the bottom and like gap on the where the door closes, so you could actually see who's inside, right? And when I was trying to change my underwear and like wipe myself, this little girl, she's maybe like 5 or 4, maybe probably around my son. So she must have been really curious what's going on in here. So she was trying to peek inside while I was trying to change my underwear. And her parents, her mom was like, come here, like, come, you should be doing that, like, come. And I'm also like inside saying like, shoo, like, go, shoo. So yeah, so the Miami trip ended up having pee and poo incident, and that's very embarrassing because I'm 24 at the time. But now it's okay to tell. It was really embarrassing that I couldn't tell for a long time, but now I'm okay. So I had, yeah, experienced both. And okay, sorry, it's taking a long time to make this mix. I should have done it before. But so I have more stories, but I don't want to get the mic in there. Okay, so this is, maybe I should just do this one as a last story, but this is the one. So when I came back in high school, like came back to Japan in high school, and I was in high school, and I found the first job, like part-time job that I found.
I just saw the ghost plane close to our house.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. So it was my first job, part-time job that I found. I think I was 16. You're allowed to work from 16, I think. So when I was 16, I found this job. I live in a city in Osaka, like very close to the station, big station too. So there are lots of like malls and shopping centers developing as well. So I found this like very Japanese, traditional Japanese, like izakaya bar style restaurant, but it's not a big size. It's like a small scale in a food court kind of type job. So I did a waitress there, and then so it was my first job there in Japan. And my Japanese was a little weird too, and since I haven't had any, there were no Japanese in where I lived in Georgia, so I hardly spoke Japanese there. So my Japanese was really weird, and I was really stuck at some of the like Chinese characters that we have to learn. But anyway, so I was a waitress there. The restaurant was like, they serve, you know, like fresh fish, like seafood, or like the fish food from the famous Japanese river. So they're like known for like fresh sashimi and like sushi. So for lunchtime, I was there working. It's like it's not a buffet, but you can grab the plate and the customer can grab the plate from the shelf. Sorry, you couldn't see me at all. The customer could just grab the what they want from the shelf, and I had to keep track of what they're eating. But anyway, so the story is, so the kitchen asked me, the chef like called out my name and then like asked me to put, so it's in Japanese, so it's really hard to explain, but let me explain it. So the chef in the kitchen asked me to put this dish on the display rack or on the shelf, but the word he used was a little hard. Like it was, so in Japanese it's called chinretsu. So the person asked me, "Can you chinretsu this?" And he gave me like a plate of sashimi to me, and so weird. Like growing up in Japan, I did not like raw food. Like I didn't eat raw fish or raw food back then. I learned how to eat them when I started working and had to go out for like on a dinner with the clients and stuff. But until then, my mom doesn't like raw food, and we never had raw food, and we never had sushi, like the raw sushi. We had the cooked one, but like we never had the raw, like sashimi and stuff. So I didn't know how, like I don't know how to eat it, or like I didn't know how people would, I don't know, like deal with it, and I didn't know the word chinretsu that he asked me to do. He should have just told me to like put it on the rack, but he used a hard word chinretsu, which I did not understand, and I was too embarrassed to ask what chinretsu mean. So I tried to guess, like chinretsu. So, oh, and the restaurant during the lunchtime, they have a microwave that you could, use the microwave to heat up your food as well. But anyway, so I was trying to guess because I was too embarrassed to ask what chinretsu means in Japanese. So I was like, okay, chinretsu, chin. The microwave, when you finish, it says chin. So I thought, oh, maybe he asked me to like put it in the microwave and like cook it for a little bit because it's raw. So I put it in the microwave and like cooked it for like a few minutes, and I was still embarrassed because I wasn't sure if that was the right thing. Of course it's not, but I took it back to the chef and said, here's the word, here's the dish that you asked me to chinretsu. And he was looking at me like, what is this girl doing? And I said, you asked me to chinretsu. And he's like, do you know what chinretsu mean? It's like you put it in a microwave and chin. That's why it has chin in it in the word. So he laughed so hard because nobody put sashimi in a microwave to cook. So, and it was like first time ever someone did that. So everybody was like making fun of me for the rest of the, like it's like they brought it up every time when they try to make fun of me that I microwave the sashimi. And also, this is also a Japanese thing too that I didn't understand. But one of the customer, she asked me in Japanese. She said, so that might be so like not so be so funny because it's so really hard to understand in language. But she asked me in Japanese, can I have ohiya? Can I have ohiya? It's like, what is ohiya? I did not know ohiya back then. So, and I'm also embarrassed to ask what ohiya is. Oliver, do you know what ohiya is? Don't say it though. Nice. You do know? Okay, he knows. My husband knows. Anyway, so I was embarrassed to ask what Ohiya means, but I knew there was a food called there's a tofu dish called hiyayakko. It has hiya. And in Japanese, you put o to make everything like polite. So like for example, if I'm to say, let me think of anything. I can't think of anything. But like when you're trying to be polite to a customer and you would say like one child, you say, you wouldn't, kodomo is child, but you put o to make it very polite. So you say okosama. Or like, yeah, anyway, you put o on top of the words to make it very polite. So I thought hiya, ohiya means like really polite version of hiyayakko, which is a tofu, like cold tofu on a plate with a soy sauce. So I ordered this tofu dish to the kitchen, and then she was waiting and waiting, and she asked me like, where is my ohiya? And it's like, oh, it's coming right away. It's getting ready. So, and then like she was probably a little annoyed because it shouldn't take that long to deliver ohiya. So, and then finally it came, so I took it to her and said, I am so sorry it took so long, but here is your ohiya. So I put the tofu dish on her plate, and she laughed. It's like, you don't know what ohiya is? And I said like, is it hiyayakko? Because it has ohiya. And she said no. Ohiya is a polite way to say water. It's so complicating, right? So she was asking for water. Can I have some water? Or she could have said, oh, can I have some water? Instead of like using this complicated word, ohiya. But yeah, so she wanted water, but I guess that she wanted tofu because I didn't know what ohiya means. So I ordered tofu for her, and then like took it to her, and she was like, no, ohiya means water. So that was another like really embarrassing story of mine. And okay, now this tree is potted. Hold on. So that's really embarrassing too. Let's push it in. I'm pretty sure I have like so many other stories, but I think we're okay for this stories. Okay, maybe a little more space now that I pushed in. Well, if you have any embarrassing story and you're okay to share, please comment on the comment below and share with me. I would love to hear some of your embarrassing stories. I'm almost done. Okay. I'm like finger crossed that he's not gonna be happy and lose all the leaves. So far, he's growing a lot of new leaves and is super happy getting the morning lights. So, okay. I really love this pot too. It's so stylish, and it was cheap. It was like $19, I think. Alright, done. So this pot is potted. Let's put it a little back. Oh my gosh, it's a little messy here too. Angle this. What do you think? Looks so stylish now. So yeah, I'm so thrilled. Like I never found anything on a clearance rack that, you know, that I'm like always like see stuff that I don't really want, so I never get anything. But this was like a super good find for me. It does have a lot of damages on the leaves, as you can see, but there's so many new leaves coming out, and these are new leaf but still not hardened, so it's really trying to do. But yeah, it has 1, 2, 3, 3 stems, and it's branching out as well, so it looks really gorgeous. I really love this. Just hope that he'll be happy in here with a lot of space to grow. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy my embarrassing stories. And if you have something to share, please comment below. I would love to hear your embarrassing stories too. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!